Welcome to the Family Status Changes webinar. Before we get started, I want to mention that this webinar, like all of our previous webinars, will be available as a video on our YouTube channel. You can access our YouTube channel through our website or directly on the YouTube website at www.youtube.com/CalPERS. In this presentation, we'll provide you with information to consider when major life changes occur. We'll review what actions to take after events such as marriage, registering a domestic partnership, birth or adoption of a child, divorce or termination of a domestic partnership, moving, and loss of a loved one. As we go through this presentation, we'll talk about the process for both active and retired members. Generally, active members will work through your employers. Retirees will work through CalPERS. Some of the processes will be similar for more than one event. At the end of the presentation, you'll learn how to contact CalPERS to notify us of any changes. There may be many things you may need to consider if you experience any of these life events. In today's presentation, however, we'll be discussing how these events may affect your CalPERS programs or benefits. There are four main areas of your CalPERS benefits that family status changes may affect. They are your retirement, your health benefits, your long-term care, and your supplemental income plans. Please note that each of these programs may not apply to everyone.
Let's get started with the first item on the agenda, getting married or forming a domestic partnership. Did you know that when you enter into a new marriage or registered domestic partnership, it revokes any beneficiary designation you may have on file with CalPERS? You'll need to complete a new beneficiary designation form to ensure your benefits go to whom you wish. Otherwise, any benefits would be paid out according to state law. There are separate beneficiary designation forms you need to complete if you are still working or if you are retired, so make sure you use the correct form. If you're an active or inactive employee, you can make beneficiary changes in your MyCalPERS account. Retirees can make changes to their beneficiaries for any lump sum benefits in their MyCalPERS account. But for complete information on changing your beneficiary after retirement, please review our publication, Changing Your Beneficiary or Monthly Benefit After Retirement, Publication 98. In order for the survivor continuance benefit to be payable to your spouse or partner after retirement, you must be married or in a domestic partnership at least 1 year prior to your retirement date. If you get married or form a domestic partnership after retirement, survivor continuance would not apply to your spouse or partner. As a retiree, not only do you need to review your beneficiary designation, you may need to review your current tax withholding and exemptions. You can log in to your MyCalPERS account to make changes or complete our tax withholding election form. Now let's discuss how a marriage or domestic partnership may affect your health benefits. As an active member who is still working, contact your personnel office as soon as possible if you want to add your new spouse or partner and any eligible stepchildren to your health coverage. Your employer will need a copy of your marriage certificate or registered domestic partnership. If you're retired, contact CalPERS as soon as possible to add your new spouse or partner and any eligible stepchildren to your coverage. We will need a copy of your marriage certificate or your registered domestic partnership, along with your new spouse's or partner's Social Security number and Medicare card, if applicable. Adding your new spouse or registered domestic partner must be done within 60 days from the date the qualifying event occurred, so don't delay in getting your employer or CalPERS the required information. If you get all required documents to us, or if you're still working, your employer, within the 60-day window, then they will be added the first of the following month after receipt of the documentation. For both active and retired members, your new spouse and parents-in-law may be eligible for CalPERS long-term care program. You can contact our long-term care customer service to find out more. Please note, current domestic partnerships are not eligible for the long-term care program. As a retiree, if your long-term care monthly premiums were paid as a payroll deduction, you'll need to contact our long-term care customer service to see what payment options are available to you in retirement. The contact number for existing coverage is 982 1775. For the purchase of new coverage, 800 908 9119. If you participate in a deferred compensation plan, such as a 401k or 457 through your employer, you should contact your employer or the savings plan directly to review and modify your beneficiary information as needed.
Next on the agenda is the birth or adoption of a child. As with a new marriage or domestic partnership, the birth or adoption of a child also revokes a beneficiary designation you may have on file with CalPERS. And again, there are separate beneficiary designation forms for active and retired members, so be sure you use the correct form. You may need to adjust your tax withholdings. As an active employee, see your employer. Retirees go through CalPERS to change tax withholdings. If you have health benefits through CalPERS and are an active employee, contact your personnel office as soon as possible to add your new child to your health coverage. Your employer will need a copy of the birth certificate or adoption papers. Be sure to provide your new child's Social Security number. Retirees with CalPERS health benefits will contact us to add new dependents. The 60-day enrollment window applies here as well. Since children are not currently eligible for the long-term care program, there is no impact to your long-term care coverage with the birth or adoption of a child. Again, if you participate in a deferred compensation plan, you should contact your employer or the savings plan directly to modify your beneficiary information as needed.
What happens if you get divorced or terminate a domestic partnership? Your CalPERS benefits are considered community property under California law. You should review our publications, A Guide to CalPERS Community Property, Publication 38A, and CalPERS Model Domestic Relations Orders, Publication 38B, to see how this may impact the future benefits you are receiving now if you are retired, or your future retirement benefits if still working. CalPERS will need a copy of your community property settlement agreement. Be sure to review your beneficiary designation form. Your dissolution of marriage revokes a beneficiary designation you may currently have on file with CalPERS. Again, there are separate beneficiary designation forms you need to complete if you are still working or retired, so be sure you use the correct version. As we mentioned earlier, for complete information on changing your beneficiary after retirement, please review our publication, Changing Your Beneficiary or Monthly Benefit After Retirement, Publication 98. You may need to review your current tax withholding and exemptions. If you're retired, log into your MyCalPERS account to make changes, or complete our tax withholding election form. If you're still an active employee, see your employer. You must remove your ex-spouse or partner from your health plan. Former spouses or registered domestic partners are ineligible for CalPERS health benefits, even if there is a court order to provide the ex-spouse or former domestic partner with health coverage. If you are still working, contact your personnel office to have your ex-spouse removed from your health plan. Your employer will need a copy of your divorce decree. If you are retired, contact CalPERS to have your ex-spouse removed from your health plan. We'll need a copy of your divorce decree. Your ex-spouse or domestic partner will be removed from your health plan the first of the following month after your divorce or termination date. It's really important to get us your divorce decree as soon as possible, because if necessary, we will retroactively delete them from your plan. This can cause a problem if they continued to seek services under your CalPERS health insurance, because you would be financially responsible for any services they sought while they weren't supposed to be covered on your plan. If your ex-spouse's or partner's monthly premium payments were deducted from your paycheck or retirement check, contact our long-term care customer service to have the premium deduction amount changed. Again, if you participate in a deferred compensation plan, you should contact your employer or the savings plan directly to modify your beneficiary information as needed.
Moving can also affect your benefits. It's important that we and your employer have your correct address. If you're still working, please notify your personnel office of your address change and they will update your information with CalPERS. If you're retired and you have your monthly benefit payment mailed to your home, It's important that you notify us of your new address as soon as possible. If you change banks when you move, you may need to change your direct deposit as well. As a retiree, you can change your address in My CalPERS or by calling us. If you're moving out of California and are receiving a CalPERS benefit payment and having California state taxes withheld, be sure to submit a new tax withholding election form or log into your My CalPERS account if you wish to stop California state taxes from being withheld. Consult a tax professional if you have questions about your tax withholding. Moving can also affect your health benefits. As both an active or retired member, you must choose a CalPERS health plan that provides coverage in your work or home zip code, so a change in your address could mean you have to change health plans. Use our health plan search by zip code service at CalPERS Online to see what plans are available in your new zip code. If you're enrolled in long-term care or a deferred compensation plan, notify them of your new address information.
Now let's talk about what happens if you become ill or disabled. If you become ill or otherwise disabled and are unable to perform the duties of your job, disability retirement may be an option. If your disability appears to be permanent and you will be unable to perform the usual duties of your position, review the Guide to Completing Your Disability Retirement Election Application, Publication 35. If you choose to apply for a disability retirement, complete and return all the required forms from the disability publication to CalPERS. If you are still working and become terminally ill, contact CalPERS about the possibility of filing for retirement as soon as possible. A CalPERS emergency retirement counselor can advise you of the actions you should take and expedite retirement processing if necessary. Be sure to review your beneficiary designation form to ensure it is accurate and up to date. You should review the CalPERS Special Power of Attorney publication, Publication 30, to decide if you need to designate an attorney-in-fact to conduct your retirement affairs. Please note that CalPERS Special Power of Attorney does not confer any authority over health decisions. Contact your employer, your union, and the Social Security Administration to determine if there are any other benefits payable to you. If you currently have CalPERS health benefits, there are specific requirements to continue health coverage into retirement or to maintain the right to re-enroll in the future after retirement. Review the disability publication or your member publication for details. Your member publication is available on our website under Forms and Publications. There are several different versions depending on your job classification. If you're still working, you should contact your personnel office to determine the continuing coverage of your surviving family members after your death. They can also help explain how coverage may be continued through COBRA. Contact us to find out how your emergency retirement can affect continuation of health coverage for your eligible surviving family members. Please consult the disability section of our website where we have additional helpful information on the steps to take if you become disabled or terminally ill. If you're a member of the CalPERS Long-Term Care Program, contact our Long-Term Care Customer Service. A program representative will explain and coordinate any benefits that may be available to you. If you participate in a supplemental income plan, contact your employer or the plan directly to determine your options.
Now we'll briefly discuss what to do if a CalPERS member or beneficiary passes away. If a CalPERS member or benefit recipient dies, CalPERS will need to be notified of the death. If the deceased member was still working, their employer should be notified, who will then notify CalPERS. For a retired member or benefit recipient, CalPERS should be notified directly. In either case, we will send the necessary paperwork to determine who will be the beneficiary and what benefits will be paid. The death benefit application publication, which includes the necessary forms, can only be obtained upon reporting a death to CalPERS. It can't be ordered online. All the required forms will need to be completed and returned to CalPERS, along with the required documentation. We'll need a photocopy of the death certificate. If a beneficiary dies, be sure to review your beneficiary designation form. You may also want to review your current power of attorney or consider completing a CalPERS special power of attorney form. If you're still working, contact your personnel office to remove this family member from your health plan. They will need a copy of the death certificate. If you're retired, contact us to have this family member removed from your health plan. We'll also need a copy of the death certificate. And again, for complete information on changing your beneficiary after retirement, review our publication, Changing Your Beneficiary or Monthly Benefit After Retirement. Please visit the Death Benefits section of our website for additional helpful information. If applicable, the long-term care customer service should be contacted to initiate termination of coverage. If a CalPERS member participating in a supplemental income plan passes away, the employer or the savings plan should be contacted directly to report the death of the member. If a family member or beneficiary passes away, contact your savings plan to review and modify your beneficiary information if needed.
Finally, it can be helpful to know how to contact CalPERS. One of the best ways to contact CalPERS is through your My CalPERS Message Center. In the Message Center, you can submit an inquiry to CalPERS. Because your request comes from a secured source behind your username and password, in most cases, we'll be able to provide you a personal response. When CalPERS answers your inquiry, you'll be notified by email that you have a message waiting in My CalPERS. Simply log in to review the response. If your request will require us to include protected personal information in the response, then mail is often the best way to get your question answered. When corresponding with CalPERS by mail, keep the following in mind. The average response time currently is 30 to 60 days. Some inquiries, which require additional research, may take longer. For 24-hour service, try the CalPERS automated phone system. Most questions can be answered in a few simple steps. Our CalPERS representatives are available from 8 to 5 Monday through Friday. In many cases, they can assist you in a single call. The busiest time to call CalPERS are the first of the month, Mondays, and the day after a holiday, and we now offer a callback feature so you can avoid waiting on hold. You can reach the automated phone system or speak to a CalPERS representative by calling 888-CalPERS or 888-225-7377. Finally, you can visit a CalPERS regional office. CalPERS has 8 regional offices located throughout the state where staff can assist you with a variety of services and educational events. If you choose not to submit your retirement application online, you can still bring in the paper version and have your signature witnessed. We do have walk-in appointments available at our regional offices, but walk-ins can often wait over an hour. To help minimize your wait time, you can pre-schedule an appointment through My CalPERS. Pre-scheduled appointments at our regional offices can fill up over a month in advance, so please plan ahead. If you need to visit one of our offices, we would like to offer you some suggestions to help you be prepared and get the most out of your visit. Check out our retirement planning classes and the online services. Read and complete necessary forms to the best of your ability and bring any supporting documents. Bring your estimate with you as we are unable to generate any estimates on site. Write down a list of any specific questions you may have. Be prepared to be scheduled into our retirement class if you haven't been to one, or you may need to follow up with another visit if a complex issue requires further research. Our presentation today was intended to give you an understanding of the actions you may need to take due to family status changes. We hope this information has been beneficial in helping you prepare for retirement. And remember, to reinforce the information you've received today, you can always take one of our member education classes, either online or in a classroom setting. Thank you for taking the time out of your day to attend this informative presentation, and have a great day.